Here are two cells on your screen. Can you tell me which one is a plant cell and which is an animal cell by merely glancing at them? Don't worry, it's not that difficult. Plant and animal cell can be distinguished from each other by the merely looking at them. The presence and the absence of a few characters are enough to let us know the differences. Let's go through the differences one by one. If we travel from the outside of the cell to the inner core, then the first difference that we find is the presence and the absence of cell wall. Plant cells have a proper, well-defined cell wall. On the other hand, animal cells do not have a cell wall at all. They just have the cell membrane, which is also a part of the plant cell. It is due to the cell wall that the plant cell obtain their proper defined shape. On the other hand, animal cells do not have a proper shape because they lack cell wall. The next obvious difference is the presence of chloroplast in the plant cell. This, as we have already studied, is the exclusive organelle for plant cell. It is absent in animal cell. Now, can you help me with the third difference? That's right, the presence of vacuoles. Both plants and animal cells contain vacuoles. However, in plant cell, the vacuole is a large one located at the center, while in animal cell, there are numerous small-sized vacuoles. The central vacuoles can occupy majority of the cell space, pushing other organelles to the periphery. The case of animal cell is slightly different. Here, the vacuoles are much smaller in size and they are scattered throughout the cytoplasm. Apart from this, there are several other differences in these two cells, but we will have a look at them in a higher grade. For now, you tell me, is classification of cells done only on this basis? Are there only two types of cells, plant cell and animal cells? Think for a moment. The answer is a definite no. This was just the difference between plant and animal cell. This is not the way cells are classified. Then how do we classify the cells? Cells are broadly classified into two major types, prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Here are the two types we are referring to. This is a typical prokaryotic cell and this eukaryotic cell. Let's begin understanding the difference between two. To begin with, the name prokaryotic helps us to know its structure. The term pro indicates primitive and the term karyon refers to kernel, which means nucleus in this case. So these cells have a primitive type of nucleus. Well, these cells do not actually have a proper well-defined nucleus. Can you see this thread-like structure scattered in the cytoplasm? This is nothing but the genetic material named nucleoid. The nucleoid is analogous to the nucleus in our cells. It has a strand of DNA, RNA, and it carries the genetic information of the cell. The only difference is that the nucleoid does not have a compact shape and mainly lack of proper membrane. The next obvious difference is that the organelles are also not membrane bound. That means the prokaryotic cell does not have a well-defined membrane for the different organelles. On the other hand, the eukaryotic cell, which means cell with a true nucleus, has well-defined membrane for nuclear as well as the other organelles. There are several other features, but we will not get into the details for now. Now tell me one thing, doesn't it look like an animal cell? Yes, it does. And that's because this is an animal cell. So, is animal cell an example of eukaryotic cell? Yes, it is. Both plant and animal cells can be included in the category of eukaryotic cell. So, which cell will be the prokaryotic types? Cells of lower organisms like various bacteria have prokaryotic cells. Thank you.